It is Christmas time, but the A-League football does not stop. Here are my predictions for round 6. In this round, we're seeing a lot of matchups of teams who have already played each other so far this season. First full Sunday afternoon, Boxing Day, Newcastle Jets host Western Sydney Wanderers. Now, amazingly, even though it feels like these teams have had very different seasons, they actually have the same form running into this game. Both teams so far across the opening 5 rounds, 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Looking back at their round 2 meeting down in Parramatta, Newcastle Jets really dominated that first half, grabbing a couple goals. It was Wanderers who came back to level the game 2-2. But I'm expecting this game to be much more one-sided in favour of the home side. Newcastle Jets, despite losing to Macarthur FC, should be strong at home as they were a couple weeks ago against Wellington Phoenix. And based off the way Wanderers are currently going, they're struggling at the moment. There's immense pressure on Carl Robinson. Wanderers have to get a win in this game if Carl Robinson wants to keep his job. It's as simple as that. The key battle in this game for me, again, comes from Becca Mickeldats. He scored a wonderful free kick against Macarthur FC and almost had a hat-trick the week before. He's in fine form, one of the signings of the season so far. And Reece Williams, despite some poor performances from some individual players in the Wanderers squad, Reece Williams has been pretty consistent at the back for the Red and Black. But my final score prediction for this game, Jets should win this one pretty comfortably, 2-0. On Boxing Day night, I'll be doing a live watch-along for what is going to be one of the biggest games of the season so far. 2 teams who have really impressed so far this campaign, Melbourne Victory, Western United. Heading into this clash, Melbourne Victory coming off the back of what was a very tightly contested Melbourne derby against City, that one ending 2-2 last weekend. And when you look at their form heading into this game overall, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Whereas for Western United, it's similar, but they're just ahead, 4 wins and 1 loss. That 1 loss, though, of course, coming against Melbourne Victory in the opening round, that 1 goal to Roderick Miranda separating the sides. I think this clash will be different this time around, though. Western United heading into this game with a lot of confidence, 4 consecutive 1-0 victories. Key battle in this game for me, a man in form for Western United, Connor Payne, coming up against Jason Geria. Geria, a very experienced A-League defender, and Connor Payne, fantastic form, 2 goals in his 2 last games. But if anyone's going to crack this Western United defense, I think it will be Melbourne Victory. They've got too much quality all over the side. I think this will be a tight one, though. I'm going to say 1-1. Kicking off simultaneously in New South Wales, it's Macarthur FC hosting Sydney FC. This is amazingly their 3rd time these sides have faced each other this season across all competitions. Macarthur FC picking up a 1-0 win between these sides back in round 2. And of course, they played each other in the FFA Cup round of 16, where Sydney FC won 2-0. The form guide heading into this game, Macarthur FC currently sit top of the table and are undefeated, 4 wins and 1 draw, while Sydney FC, 1 win, of course picking up the first 3 points of the season last week against Wellington, so 1 win, 2 draws and 2 losses. Key matchup in this game for me, I imagine Ryan Grant will be shifted back into the starting lineup after missing the last 2 games. He's going to be coming up against one of the most informed players in the competition right now, Danny De Silva. De Silva pretty much single-handedly rescued the 3 points for Macarthur FC to come back against Newcastle Jets last week, so Ryan Grant is really going to have his work cut out for him in this game. I think this will be an entertaining game and it could easily go either way. I'm going to say 2-2 draw in the end. On Sunday afternoon, Mariners have their 3rd consecutive home game as they host Wellington Phoenix. Of course, the 2 sides facing off back in round 2 where Phoenix picked up a 2-1 win down in Wollongong. The form guide heading into this game does favour the home side. Central Coast Mariners 2 consecutive 2-0 victories at home, whereas Wellington Phoenix 3 consecutive defeats in the league. Key matchup in this game for me is Josh Nisbet for the Central Coast Mariners coming up against James McGarry for Phoenix, or whether it is Sam Sutton who starts at left back. But Josh Nisbet has been such a star player for Mariners so far this season. He got on the score sheet in the opening round and has been involved in some of the other goals so far this season. He's such a dangerous player. His industry, his work rate is just incredible. But McGarry, one of the best fullbacks in the league, is certainly going to be able to keep up with Josh Nisbet, so that's going to be a fascinating clash. Despite Wellington Phoenix beating the Mariners a couple weeks ago in Wollongong, I think Mariners will head into this game as favourites, just based off the form of the 2 sides. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Mariners. And after a break last weekend, Brisbane Roar returned to A-League men's action against Melbourne City. This is going to be a tough game for Brisbane, a side still looking for the first win of the campaign. These 2 teams, of course, met each other on the opening day of the season where Melbourne City picked up a 2-1 win. It wasn't all smooth sailing for the home side, though, in that game. Brisbane Roar almost came back to snatch a 2-2 draw. But the key contest in this game for me is Corey Brown at left back for Brisbane coming up against Andrew Naboot. Andrew Naboot has looked so dangerous in every game so far this season, got on the score sheet in the Melbourne derby last week, and of course, 2 former teammates at Melbourne Victory from a couple of years back. Brisbane will be desperate for the first win of the season in this game, but City should just be too strong. I'm going to say 2-0 to the reigning champions. Feel free to drop your predictions down into the comments, and don't forget to join me on Boxing Day night, 7:30 p.m. for a watch-along of Melbourne Victory against Western United. I've been Lockie here from Coast Watch Football. If you have enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, and if you want to stick around for more content, make sure you hit subscribe.